if we look at the Eagles, is it Hurts or the team? I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think it's I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that like when things are off, I just can't like hold it in. Like I almost gotta say something. Like
this video is gonna be divisive as hell. It's gonna be polarizing. It's gonna be fun, and I honestly am here for it. Whenever there's rivalries in the NFC East, it's better than, well, the entire division sucking and being the laughingstock of the NFL. And we have that in this video. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Make sure you're followed on Instagram and Twitter to enter for our holiday giveaways. And now that we get all that out of the way, break! This video is sponsored by PrizePicks. You guys know PrizePicks has been my latest obsession because I live in California. There's no way that you could gamble on games in California, so the best way you could get action on games is through PrizePicks. And ever since I partnered with them, we've been having a lot of fun. And before we get to the latest promo, I want to give a huge shout out to my man, Nasri Hasbun, who tweeted me a 6-legged pick that he hit on as a result of our last promo, which means he 25x'd his money. And that's freaking awesome. Hopefully more of my subs hit this big as a result of today's promo. As a matter of fact, it's not only today's promo, because from this day and on until Christmas Day, PrizePicks is releasing a brand new promo every day, and it's called Picksmas. All you have to do is download PrizePicks, use my promo code Microphone to get up to a $100 deposit match, and then just log into PrizePicks each and every day to see what they're offering for that day. Since they're offering a brand new promo each and every day, I'm probably going to be posting my picks onto my Instagram story. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I literally play PrizePicks each and every day. So huge shout out to PrizePicks for the sponsorship. Make sure you sign up with my promo code Microphone or the link in the description down below. And thank you, PrizePicks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Micah Parsons and Jalen Hurts have reinvigorated their respective teams. I don't think the Cowboys have ever hit on a player on the level that they did with Micah Parsons. I mean, truly a once-in-a-generation type talent that can play multiple positions on the defensive side of the ball. And I honestly hope he continues to have longevity and continues to succeed. In addition to that, I also just really appreciate how outspoken the man is. I mean, you're literally talking about a guy that tweeted out that he is not going to vote for Joe Biden after Joe Biden traded Victor Bout for Brittany Griner. The fact that Micah Parsons is that transparent and that outspoken is something that I could appreciate. Which, speaking of which, we have a whole short on that entire incident with Micah Parsons and Brittany Griner. If you guys are interested, it's the last short we uploaded. On the other side of the coin, you have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, look, I feel like some of my bias is going to trickle into this video. I'll be very transparent about that, but I have been singing the Philadelphia Eagles praises all year long. I mean, this team has been making intelligent decision after intelligent decision to the point where it makes me sick to be in their division. I mean, they literally robbed the Tennessee Titans of their best player. Yes, I think AJ Brown was a better player than Derrick Henry. I mean, from multiple perspectives, from being one of the better run blocking wide receivers in the NFL to having the ability to take the top off of the defense, I thought he was your best player over Derrick Henry, especially considering how long Derrick Henry's been in the NFL so far. I feel like AJ Brown would have had more good years than Derrick Henry. Now, you can disagree with me in the comment section. We could get into it in the comment section, but this video is about something else. That trade was so freaking bad that the Tennessee Titans decided to fire their general manager after the Philadelphia Eagles kicked their ass a few weeks ago. And that wasn't the only decision they made that was just really freaking smart. Drafting Jordan Davis was an incredible decision. Trading for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was a good decision. Hey, trading for Robert Quinn, it didn't pan out yet, but hell, your odds of hitting in the 4th round of the NFL draft are like 0.01%, so it was a pretty good risk to take. But even before that, I think the one trade that no one ever discusses when discussing the Philadelphia Eagles is probably one of their biggest robberies of the past last year. You could put this up there with the AJ Brown trade. Their trade with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, I remember when I made a video on their trade with the New Orleans Saints, I wasn't really considering it to be such a big deal. I thought the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints may even have a fairly similar record to one another by the conclusion of this season. Bear in mind, this was the offseason, and I thought the New Orleans Saints just wanted to be in a situation where they could potentially draft a quarterback this year, and in return, they'll give the Philadelphia Eagles their first round pick next year. And ultimately, that draft pick so far is looking like a top 5 pick in this year's NFL draft. So yeah, on top of being a one-loss team, the Philadelphia Eagles could potentially add a player like Will Anderson to their already terrifying defense at the end of the season. I mean, I could sit here and sing the praises of the Philadelphia Eagles all day long. I could talk about how Howie Roseman was right for trading Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts, for moving on to Jalen Hurts, and probably the only mistake he made there was not taking Hurts in the first round, because then he would have had the opportunity to exercise a 5th-year option on him. But honestly, that's just a nitpick at that point. The Philadelphia Eagles have been riding high all season long. Jalen Hurts has been putting up video game-like numbers. I would know, he's on my fantasy football team. To give you an idea, at this point that I'm making this video, Jalen Hurts has a 68% completion percentage, has thrown 22 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this year. A huge reason why is because of that triple option RPO they have going on with one of the best run blocking wide receivers in the league, who also could take the top off of defenses, and with a very mobile and athletic QB in Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders has also been benefiting from this as well, and they also have a really good offensive line. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if you have a really good scheme that's consistently working, then you should consistently use it. It's a brilliant thing to bring into the NFL, and as a result, obviously a lot of teams are struggling to defend it. And one person that is making sure we know why the Philadelphia Eagles are having this much success is Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys. Now look, Jalen Hurts, statistically speaking, has a very legitimate resume to be this year's NFL MVP. I mean, when you compare his numbers to Patrick Mahomes, Mahomes has over 4,000 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions on 66% completion. His team also lost 3 games so far this year. And I also didn't mention Jalen Hurts' rushing statistics, which at this point, he has 686 rushing yards and 10 TDs on the ground. So without a doubt, a phenomenal season. But when Micah Parsons had the opportunity to discuss it on Von Miller's podcast, he sang a completely different tune. So Micah Parsons goes on the Voncast and he's asked point blank whether or not he believes Jalen Hurts deserves to win MVP.
If we look at the Eagles, is it Hurts or the team? I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think it's
To be honest, very valid question, but also you need to understand that football isn't necessarily a game where you could put one really good player surrounded with a bunch of crappy players and have a bunch of success, or even see that one player succeed. Except for one instance, and that was Deshaun Watson on his final season with the Houston Texans. I mean, yeah, he had Will Fuller, yeah, he had Brandon Cooks, his team won 4 games, but Watson still put up 4,800 passing yards, 70% completion percentage, threw 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. But typically, you won't see instances like this. Now, Micah continues to talk about this, and we do have Jalen Hurts' response, by the way.
They got a great offensive line, which helps Hurts. Hurts has AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. They got a good running game.
I mean, look, man, I think Miles Sanders' success is a product of Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, and AJ Brown running the Philadelphia Eagles offense the way they do. I mean, all of those players are definitely a factor when you face off against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they have a very difficult scheme to stop. And I don't think it's fair to discredit Jalen Hurts as a result of that. I think Jalen Hurts should really enjoy the season he has. The parallel I drew here, because I've seen this story before, is Robert Griffin III's rookie year. In RG3's rookie season, the NFL was taken by storm by one concept that was relatively new: the read option. It's a play that defenses could easily stop today, but back then, in 2012, you had a lot of teams struggling to defend against zone reads, especially the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Whew, I don't even want to think about that year. But the crazy thing is, we don't necessarily know if that success would have been able to translate to the year after. I mean, yeah, technically you could look at RG3's statistics and say, hey, after that magical rookie year, he was was a shell of his former self. But I don't attribute RG3's lack of career success to the fact that he wasn't able to successfully run read option for a second season, or the fact that teams had a better idea of how to stop it. Rather, I attribute his lack of success to just mismanagement of his injury, him being traumatized to scramble, and him trying to become a pocket passing QB. And then you're playing for the Washington Redskins. Well, back then the Redskins. So you don't necessarily have a front office that knows how to manage a situation like this. So what I'm saying for Jalen Hurts is, yeah, he is the beneficiary of a scheme that is just unstoppable so far. And until all football teams have a full offseason to figure out how to stop it, or until someone gives Bill Belichick a call, or if the Eagles face off against Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl, which is probably not going to happen, I don't necessarily know how the Eagles scheme is going to be stopped. Does this mean Jalen Hurts should be discredited? Well, no, because he still has to make the throws. He still has to make the right reads. And so far, he's been doing that remarkably. Yeah, he also is on a rookie scale contract, has AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, a great offensive line, a coaching staff that clearly knows what it's doing, a remarkable defense. I mean, James Bradbury next to big play Darius Slay, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, I could go on and on about how good the Eagles team is. It's like the perfect mixture of everything. You have a great team, a great scheme, and most of the NFL doesn't know how to stop it. Now, Micah Parsons did take some time to clarify what he is saying. Listen to this.
I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that like when things are off, I just can't like hold it in. Like I almost gotta say something. Like
his stats and what he's been doing with the numbers that he be putting up is MVP worthy, just like what Patrick Mahomes doing. But that pass with Patrick Mahomes was
nuts.
Was insane, bro.
But that's what he does. Mahomes is an MVP.
Now, how does Jalen Hurts feel about this? Well, he gave the most professional response that he possibly could have. He said this.
We're worried about the Bears right now.
At the end of the day, yeah, I do think Jalen Hurts deserves to win MVP, but I don't think he's a better quarterback than Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. But that's not what the question was. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? Do you think Jalen Hurts deserves to win NFL MVP? Do you think he's better than Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.